What's going on, fam? This is Anthony Santana, Mike Sessions and Life Lessons. It's my co-host, Paul Grassi, and this is Alexis. I don't know your last name, girl, so I'm sorry.
We don't know your last name. Can you say that?
Salernitano.
Nice. All right. I wasn't
Nice.
expecting that. All right, that's cool. Salernitano.
Yeah, it has a lot of
Nice.
syllables to
That's
it.
so cool. She's from Florida. She's up visiting, and she's Paul's friend.
Yep.
And she's been coming out to the Bible study at barbershop and stuff, and in Lacey at the home church, and we've been getting some fellowship and getting drunk, man.
Yeah.
Getting drunk in the Holy Spirit.
I've had some like great conversations with Alexis, like about recovery and about God and about different things about life, and I was always surprised about how much like you've had to just to say, you know what I mean? Like it just would flow so easily. And they were like long conversations, like in deep stuff too. You know what I mean? I hate shallow conversations. I don't know about you, but yeah, they get boring.
Yeah. Like surface level shit I'm not about. That's why I like it deep. I like it real. I like it raw. You know, just like ODB. No.
Right?
Yeah.
So, everybody's different. Everybody's in different places in their journey, on their walk, and stuff like that. So, we give people freedom to be themselves. We don't have requirements. There's no, this God's given me this platform, and people have sewn into it, and people are partnering with it, and I've had, the privilege to have a team starting to be built and stuff. So, but basically, I just want to say, like, Alexis, be yourself. So there's kids watching, have moms watching and stuff like that. So be yourself, but just try to do your best. No F bombs, you know what I'm saying? Just drop it. We want the message edifying and building as much people up as we possibly can, So as we were talking to Alexis, she was sharing a lot of things, her story, and it was just powerful, man. Wow, He's moving in your life, like the things that you're saying that God is revealing to you. You're like, yes, that's definitely God. There's fruit on your life. There's wisdom when you speak. There's a tenderness of heart. So would you come on the podcast? We were talking about our testimony. I did my testimony last week, and Paul was going to do his this week, but we're making way for our friend, our sister, the Lord, man. Yeah, we're so excited, and you're a little nervous, right?
Hella nervous.
So we're just gonna put it out there. Sometimes I could be nervous too, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes, very rarely, hardly ever. But
I don't even know the answer. I get nervous about
I do,
things.
and
I do.
And the way that I look at it is because I look at it like I get nervous about things that matter to me. Like if it didn't matter, I wouldn't have any feeling to it. So it matters. So something I'm about to do, it matters a lot to my heart. So my heart kind of jumps around a little bit. My stomach might get a little fluttery. But it's just saying that I'm about to do.
Might fall a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
I probably farted on the mic, but nobody said anything until now. So now I feel completely
It's just part of the human experience.
Oh, the human experience.
Yes. That's so good. Yeah, I mean, so let's just jump right in, man. So did you always have a relationship with God?
I would say no. Not always, not all the time. I know I was Roman Catholic, that's how I grew up. Went to Sunday school, CCC, communion, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then things transpired in my life. And I didn't believe in God anymore, actually. Like called myself a atheist, which I didn't know what that meant. I was very young, I felt like God took away my mother. I was like very young. And all the shit I've been through, excuse me, all the stuff I've been through.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm an atheist. I was like, no, I'm just called in.
Agnostic.
And my father, like 13 years old, threw a knife at me. He's like, your mother would be so disappointed. You know, I was like, dude.
He didn't like that very
No,
much.
he did not like that very much. And I kind of turned away from all of it. Things transpired also when I went to CCD school, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it just kind of turned me away. And I was like, why is everybody so judgmental, such hypocrites? Not everybody, but most of them were. I was like, I don't get it.
So you were sensing because you were experiencing pain and trauma, and you were on your journey trying to develop some or no belief. You're just trying to figure it out. You got judgment. And because of that. Yeah, that's a popular thing.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with your mom and dad? Can you get into that a little bit?
So like my mom, my dad, each other's love in their life. Like what everybody would want. Like every time I would hear from my family, like they're like, oh man, that's what everybody wanted. Everybody wanted, your mother and father's relationship. They were soulmates for life. They took care of each other, ride or die, that type of thing. I saw that growing up until she had my sister, and she got very, very sick. She ended up getting postpartum and getting bipolar, which is also something I have. Sometimes, they think it's like genetic. I've been through a lot of trauma with just my family in general. And my mom and dad, though, they really did love each other, but my mom got really sick. She became an addict. And things happened, and I had to take care of my mother when my father was at work, if he didn't take off or whatever.
How old were you around that time?
The really bad stuff started happening, I would say, around like 5, 6 years old to like age 9 when she passed away, unfortunately. So yeah, it's just like what happened. And I remember a lot. My memory's really good. Remember just like, dragging my mother from like the kitchen floor all the way back to the living room. Like I had that willpower of like her, ODing and like smacking her in the face, because my dad would be like, smack her in the face.
Try to wake her up.
Figure it out. Wake her up. Do this. Do that. Alexis, what are you doing right now? My aunt called me. What are you doing right now? I'm cooking breakfast. Put your mother on the phone and smack her for me and wake her up. You should not be cooking breakfast. You should not be washing the dishes.
Yeah.
You should not be sweeping the floor. I did pretty much everything because she was sometimes so out of it, and she put us in very dangerous situations. I had a gun held up to my head as a kid, and my sister as well, just sitting there, where's my money? Where's my money to my mother? And I'll do this to your kids right now. You think I'm playing? You think I'm playing? I will. I don't care.
So you remember all the words, you remember the whole moment, the feelings, everything.
Wow.
Oh yeah, my sister just remembers. She remembers a lot too. But my mom, she was a good woman, man. Like, she had the biggest heart. A lot of people say I am like her. I kind of also felt like her, like, this world isn't meant for me. Like, it's impossible to live. Why is this so rough? Why is this so hard? Like, after going through everything with my mother, she would bring us in trap houses and put us in dangerous situations. I've seen people get raped, murdered, abused. You say it, I've seen it.
No way.
No way. And I ended up getting also molested by, like, a family friend that, like, they known freaking forever. And whatnot. And this situation was just too weird. I'm not going to really talk about it. CCD school, same thing. Okay, one of the guys there, which was another reason why I turned away. Okay, it happens. And I was just trying to hold it together for my mother and my sister and what was going on. It was just rough. It was rough. I've seen my father and my mother get in physical altercations and fights, and he also, me and him, been into a lot of physical altercations when I was a kid. So, like, what do you call that, right? I hate saying the word abuse, but it was so often and so messed up. Then it's like he's still my father. I still love him. He has a side to him that I think he finally fixed. He had to do some stuff. So anyways, my mother, died. My sister actually woke up too, and I was like, Amanda, why are you trying to wake me up? Leave me alone. She's probably like 6 at this time. I'm 9. Mom's not waking up. I need you. As soon as I heard that, I got right out of bed. It's just a routine.
Yeah.
Just a routine at this point. I know what's going on. And I tried everything that I could. I even thought about doing CPR on her, but I didn't know how to do it. I was 9 years old. My dad says, Alexis. I called him. He's like, get the tenants upstairs. Do CPR on her. Do something. He said some stuff to me. That's not okay. Like, if something happens to your mother, he says something like, oh, it's your fault or the tenant's fault. And, it just kind of, I don't know if he was thinking what he was saying or he blacked out. I don't know. I just say, he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know what he said. Every time something happened with my father, I always say, like, some are sicker than others. So, he just doesn't know what he's doing. Like, if he knew, then he wouldn't have done it. And he had a really bad upbringing. His father was never around. He beat the crap out of them every day, all the time for no reason. And he realized, and his mother died from cancer when he was 9 years old. So wow. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm also like scared to have kids and like that, God forbid. It's scary. And he had it rough with his 2 brothers, and his other brother, my Uncle Ricky, was also an addict. So is my Uncle Eric. Uncle Eric he was sober for a while. Now he's not. My Uncle Ricky, he unfortunately died 3 years ago on Christmas Day. He was like my best friend. I was trying to get him sober. I even was like, let's just do harm reduction, man. Like, you like smoking weed? You like, we want to drink once in a while, but you have to be sober for a while. I was like, you gotta just work with me. I'll sponsor you. I'll get someone to sponsor you. He just didn't want it. He still didn't want it.
So at this point, what time, and the timeline, like how old were you at this point? Like,
with my uncle, this is 3 years ago, so I was 23.
Okay, yeah, so there's a big gap.
26. I talk, see, this is my problem.
No, it's okay.
Everybody bear with me because I jump. My mind's everywhere.
I do too. I'm like, wait. No, I fast forwarded too much.
And I backtrack.
So I'll go back, but I'm just talking about like family history. But during this time, my mom died.
How was your dad? Like, how was your dad after that? Because he seems like he was hard. Like, he expected a lot out of you, it seemed like. You know what I mean? As a 9-year-old, and you're taking care of a mother, it's not supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the other way. You're never supposed to, as the child, to take care of the parent. Yeah. And you get out of that alignment and things happen in regular life. You find yourself out of alignment a lot. And I was wondering, like, how was your father after he lost his wife? You know what I mean? He lost his wife. You lost your mom. Your sister lost a mom. It's a big part. Even if, she's an addict and she had those tendencies, she's still missing out of the equation of the family. What did it look like after that? Like, how were you guys moving forward?
Yeah, so right after that, he was just, I can tell he was super depressed all the time, crying. But I only seen him crying when he told me, and then at the funeral, and then maybe a little bit in between. But he was trying to hold it together, basically. Essentially, trying to hold it together. He told me that, Alexis, when this stuff kind of happens in your life, you have no choice but to be strong for your children. You don't have a choice to go and get high. You don't have a choice to want to kill yourself. You don't have a choice to do the things, to run around and do what you want to do. You have no choice but to suck it up and take care of your kids. That you gotta be strong. This is stuff he used to tell me growing up. It's like, okay, but all that, just push it down, just build it up, and he became angry. And when he met another person very quickly, like a year later, And she was like super nice, and it didn't work out. She had 2 kids, didn't work out with her or whatever. And then the other person he ended up marrying, which me and my sister had tons and tons and tons of fights with her. Oh, wow. She was very, very mentally, physically abusive. Just, listen, we all get along now, but I do it for my father. And my father also became very, abusive. Worse than what he was before with my mother or me and my sister.
Yeah.
It's just like crazy stuff. Just crazy stuff where, like, if my grandfather there or my uncle was there, they had to intervene. They're like, how are you treating them like boys, Eddie? They're girls. Like, you're like, he's pulling my hair so hard out of my head. He's making my scalp bleed. He's pushing me down the stairs. He's, kicking me while I'm on the ground. He's punching me in my face. That's like the type of crap that I went through for years, more than my sister did. He always favored my sister, and it was what it was, but she's got it too,
Mm-hmm. So
and then
at what point did you start to try to numb the pain?
13 years old. He met his, I'm not going to say any names. He met
That's good.
his now wife at when I was 9 when my mom died, so probably like 10 or 11, man. Very quickly. She started changing my whole family dynamic. Like, she was, two-faced, very told my aunts, told my other side of the family, oh yeah, I want you to be in the girl's life, blah blah blah. They need that from their mother's side, and then go behind their back, talk shit about them, do all this crap, telling you need to get away from them, blah blah blah, all this. And I'm not going to go into too much detail what happened.
Yeah,
but I haven't talked to them.
Yeah.
When that happened, I didn't talk to them for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because the brainwashing started with my father and with me and my sister. And we didn't talk to my mother's side for like 10 years. And I always say this, nobody's right, nobody's wrong. We just don't get along. And I say that to everybody I talk to sometimes. Just a lot of SF interfered with my dad and them on both sides. They were both bad to each other, and it doesn't matter what happened. But I love them, and they're still my family.
Yeah.
So 13 years old, I tried killing myself.
Okay.
I ended up trying. I'm not going to say how. Okay. My dad knocked down the door, came in, and I'm there above my bed. Let's put it that way. He had to get something to cut it with. Mm-hmm. And said, what are you, stupid? What do you want me to go to jail? You want me to go to jail? You'll never see me again. I'm like, good. I'm glad because his now wife said, go off yourself like your mother did. Go be like her. So I did.
So you're already hearing the thought. You're already feeling the feelings and hearing the thoughts. Oh, yeah. Then it's being reinforced by people around you.
Do it.
Right,
and then
right.
Them calling me delusional, crazy. She would never say that to you. She would never do these things to blah blah blah. My girlfriend wouldn't do that. Like, just the lies, man. And them believing in their own lies. I'm just disciplining you. I'm just whatever. So it was 13. I started doing blues.
Which are? Which are?
Blues, like pills. Like pain pills.
Okay.
And Roxy's, Oxys.
Just so some people don't know street language.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah.
No, it's cool. I'm just here to...
Blues, like Blues Clues.
We just got a letter.
Yeah.
I don't know. Trying to keep... I don't know if there's kids watching, I don't know. But,
No, that's okay.
But 13, that's when it started happening after I tried offing myself. Because I was like, what the hell else am I going to do? I also got called, I was skinny as a kid, but I still got called fat growing up, and you're this, and you're a loser, and you're a slut. I was a slut at 13 years old, guys. Did you know that? I haven't even talked to a boy yet, and his now wife. You're a slut because Oh, you don't know what a nativity set is? We put it up because we're real Catholics and we're real Christians. Your friends are fake Catholic if they don't put the nativity set up. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Right?
Sounds like a lot of
You're
judgment.
a slut, right?
Yeah.
This is what happened growing up. She was all high and mighty. They're not real Christians if they don't put up the nativity set. I was like, whoa, like, okay. Like,
a lot of
I don't know why you're calling me
priority on the ceramics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the ceramics tell the truth. I don't know. It's crazy.
So sorry. So then, anyways, my bad. Yeah, that's what this crap I went through almost every day. I'm like, okay, whatever. So
yeah, did your drug use like progress?
Oh yeah, like I ended up like I also started taking diet pills at like 14, 15 years old. I remember going to track. I did track. I did diet pills. I did painkillers with them. And I ended up like overdosing at my dad's house when I was like 15. I'm pretty sure I did it again at 16. And he couldn't wake me up, but he had to do, you know, something to wake me up. And I remember throwing up like 25 times. Like, you can't go to the hospital. Like, we're not taking her to the hospital. We're not doing this. It's fine. Nobody needs to know. It's always hush. Nobody needs to know. Growing up, to continue, I wanted to move out. I was like, screw this shit.
Of course you would have.
I'm getting abused physically and mentally. You know, my dad, I don't even spend time with my dad. He doesn't like come to any of my track meets because he ran track. I only did for him. And he never comes to any of my track meets, maybe one time when I was in middle school. And I only won that race and pushed through because he was there. And I knew that. He wasn't involved in my life like that. I never see him. He's always working. When he came home, he was spending it with his girl. So I was like, this is my life. So I moved out at 17. I remember the cops came. You know, I was fighting with my sister. And his girl started hitting me with the broomstick and jabbing it at me. And I said, I'm calling the cops. I'm done with this. Because I lost my mind. From the first time, I put my hands on her. And there was visible marks where, but I was dressed like this, like head to toe. You know, like, so when she hit me, the cops came in, and the woman cop said, I was 17. She says, I don't see any marks on you. That's what the cop says to me. And then the man cop says, whoa, okay, you need to go downstairs. Like, this is your handling. This is very wrong. And I'm crying, I'm hysterical. The woman's cop's like, we should press charges on her. You want to press charges on her? And my dad's like, no. Like, you know, and then the male cop was like, listen, I've been in your situation before where nobody believes you. Just leave. He's like, if you can leave and do it, he's like, do it. He's like, do it. I'm telling you, I've done it. I think you should do it. Don't listen. She's a rookie. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Do not listen to her. Okay. And I was like, okay, like, sounds good. So I left at 17. I left. He even told me to wait till 18. I'm like, I'm doing it right now.
You were trapped until you had that voice of like,
yeah,
you can go.
Yeah, you can go. He's like, even if no one believed, like, even the school got involved. Sometimes I would come with like bruises and stuff, and they'd be like, Mr. You know, blah blah blah. You know, why is she coming to school like this? Like, what is going on? She's like hiding stuff, you know. And he didn't have any answers or clues or reasons why. Like, just it is what it is. I know diapers got involved a couple times. Not a couple times, maybe like 10 times. Since my mother was alive, all the way till I was up in high school, because the neighbors would hear us screaming so loud that they called the cops on us. Yeah, that's how it was.
So you left.
Oh yeah, I left.
Where'd you go?
I was homeless. Like, dead ass serious. Like, homeless. I was just sitting at the corner, quick check. I was a waitress at 14 years old under the table. That job helped me keep going. I was also selling. I was selling a bunch of stuff. Like, anything you name it, I've sold it. I've made
stuff like drugs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you have friends?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've had friends, but like my friends were older. They weren't even in my school. I was always hanging out with people in college. I was always hanging out with people. I did have friends in school, but they didn't know about the shit I was doing because it's none of their business.
Yeah, it was more like run that was a safe place.
No, yeah. At one point there was my good friend. He was my good friend at the time. I did stay with him and his mother for a while, and him and his mother were the best. They helped me out. They were great people, man. I just didn't. At one point, didn't get along with him because between me and him, he liked me a certain way, I didn't, and I was like, all right, it's time for me to go. I had a boyfriend as well who was also abusive to me in high school. Like, hit me right in front of everyone in school. One of the teachers, like, basically stepped in, was like, it looked like I thought he was going to hit him. He was like, no, you don't ever do that. I had a one-on-one talk, and he's like, you have woman battered syndrome. Like, you know, you think it's okay if you go back to this guy, blah, blah, blah. This has been my whole life, you know, so I've always been with something like this in my life.
Almost like you, this is all I'm worth.
Right, I'm used to it. It's normal time. You know, I'm cheated on. You know, man, it's normal. This is normal life for me. You know. So, anyways, and then I say, you know what? I'm gonna go to the army. Screw this. I'm gonna get clean. I'm gonna stop selling drugs, even though I'm making tons of money. And I'm gonna go. Oh yeah. So I had to get. I started. It was funny when I was little. My dad. I started going to church. I walked like 5 miles to go to church. Look for some answers. Look for some answers. You know what I'm saying? And just like walking there, praying, lighting a candle for my mother and my grandparents and whoever died in my life, and just saying, like, please God, please show me the way, because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know who I am. Like, why do I want to kill myself every day? Why do I want to do drugs? Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to do that? Why? Just please tell me why at least. And sometimes in life you're just never going to get the answers that you're looking for, and that's okay, and that's why you got to let go and move on. Because forgiveness really isn't for them, it's for you. You got to move on, and that's what I realized. So I even did like you go in the booth with the priest and everything, and he sounded surprised himself. Like someone was like, whoa, like, you know, but he gave me some good information. Yeah, and I just kept doing this, you know, jumping from house to house with my friends before I joined the army. And then I joined the army, and I got my butt whipped into shape. You know, I enjoyed it. I was infantry 11 Bravo. I enjoyed it. I was just listen to this, and it ruined my whole future. I was just about to graduate, and I ended up getting raped. Right before I'm about to graduate. Yep. Right before I'm gonna graduate, they're like, "You're going to Afghanistan." I'm super excited. I'm psyched. Yeah. I'm like, I'm away from everything and everyone. And it's
as
just
far away as you can from everything that you've been experiencing so far.
I'm psyched. Yeah. I'm ecstatic. I was just happy to do something with my life, have purpose, and give back. That's what I want to do. I want to give back to my country, man. And I got raped. A lot of people there did, actually. When we all went on the bus together, all a bunch of people that this stuff happened to, and we all went home. So that's how I found out it wasn't just me. A lot of stuff happened there.
What happens? If you, I'm so sorry. All this stuff happened to you. I'm can't imagine. Yeah, it makes me feel like, damn, I thought I had it rough, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
this is,
sorry, I'm like, listen,
you don't have to say sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. No, I'm just
moving on, bro.
I'm just identifying. You know what I'm saying? Not comparing.
Oh, I got
and
you.
You know, that's.
I just feel bad if I say something that's triggering or.
No, you're doing fine.
No.
You mind if I take my jacket off?
No, yeah, of course.
No.
Get comfortable.
No.
Yeah. No.
1 second.
No, yeah, you're good. No, be yourself. You're doing great. No, I was saying, like, I was just identifying with you, and, like, you know, I don't want to just sit here mindlessly listening to a bunch of horrific, traumatic things that happen to an individual, a daughter of God, and not, like, actually feel it for a moment and just be like, damn. You know, not that you're looking for pity or anything like that, you know. But explain to me that, just real quick, so when you get raped in the army as a woman, What happens?
It's just funny because I told them, like, at first I didn't tell them, because what happened was I got raped, and I said, I can still get through this. I need to go. I need to get like away from my family. Like, I do not want to go back to where I grew up. I do not want to go back, because it's just like not what I wanted, man. It was just like I was trying to get through it, and then I tried killing myself there because I couldn't help it. I was like I couldn't control it. I was like, I can get through this. It was like a couple days, and then I tried offing myself there too, and then I ended up in the hospital for like 2 weeks, and then I was there another month, just like out doing like duties for the army, just sitting there guarding things and whatnot. Like, what the hell are we supposed to do with her now? And these other people that like they're going home for other reasons and whatnot, you know? It's like they were trying to hide it, and it like killed me inside, and I had to like prove and go through this whole process of.
So you have to get discharged if you go that's something like that happens?
Yeah, but it's like they were trying to like hush it, like.
Right. It's still echoing? Is anybody live? Is anybody logged in? Nobody's telling us. I thought it was echoing, and now it's not. Oh,
Yo, that's
sorry
crazy about the
that.
military.
Sorry about the echoing.
Yeah. Can you give a check? We have some help when Natasha's gonna go check and see about this echoing thing.
Yeah, it was echoing in the beginning, but then your wife hit me up on Facebook and told me, and it turns out much
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
Better, so I'm not sure if we fixed it.
I hope so.
Right.
What are we streaming on? A couple different platforms, right?
No, only YouTube.
Just YouTube. Okay.
Well, Holy Spirit, we just thank you for fixing
Yes,
any
Lord.
technical difficulties right now, so that our sisters experience strength and hope to go forth and transform lives and
Yes.
plant seeds and water those that have been planted already. God, thank you for bringing the increase. Thank you for fixing the problem. We take dominion over all of this computer stuff.
Yeah.
It's good?
Yeah.
Amen. Wow, that was fast.
That was fast.
I'm
Holy
getting
Spirit,
pretty good.
quick.
God,
I'm getting good at this. No, I'm saying.
Jesus, oh God, don't give him too much.
man, you're so modest.
Lord, can you scale him down a little bit? Like, where's
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't look.
Thank you, babe.
At my no, sorry. I'll look. I promise.
So, anyways, but they put down when I left. Oh, tried offing yourself. They didn't even like put that I was like went through all this. I'm like, what the hell is going on, right? And then once you leave, they like erase you from like the computers and stuff. They erase everything about you and whatnot. Years later, like I ended up at a rehab. You know what I mean? I'm out. I've started working at Home Depot.
Wait, so you didn't even get honorably discharged or anything like that?
Not
You don't
at
get.
that point. Not at that point, which was like really. I mean, I didn't feel like I served anyways. But people were telling me, "Nah, you served. Like, what are you talking about? You took the
You
oath.
prepared. You
went
were
there."
ready to go.
And people was, and I still feel like, still till today, I feel like, no, don't say it. Like, I still tell people, like, don't say I served.
You don't want to receive the honor because you never went into combat
Yes.
or anything like that.
Correct.
But
I still feel like, damn, I don't want to hear that. Like,
But you
know what I
signed
mean?
up.
Like,
You went through all the training. You were like
Yeah.
feeling. It's crazy because I'm like listening to your story, right? And it's hard not from my heart not to have compassion and not to feel these things. And it's like I'm putting myself in your shoes, my empathy, right? So like I'm in your shoes. I'm like, oh, I'm doing something esteemable, right? I'm doing something for the good of my country. I'm stepping out of what I'm used to. I want to get away, and this is a platform that I'm going to use to build myself up. And then in this situation, another trauma comes, another rape. You know what I mean? It's like, holy crap! I can't even imagine like what that looks like trying to do the right thing and then just getting like knocked back down over and over again. It's like
Yeah, it's
I
crazy,
feel
man.
like this whole and I don't like to say that
it's like a
you know,
curse. It's
but
like
yeah, like
assignment
demonic
on your life. Yeah.
assignments like that are coming at you in different times of your life to really. And I mean, you just sitting here right now is the great testimony.
It's
Like,
a
you-
miracle.
Yeah,
Yo.
honestly, like you being here and being able to talk about this like so openly.
Yeah.
Like it's like kind of like blowing my mind a little bit.
Yes.
You
That's why
know?
we had to have you on here.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful to God, man. So what happened from that point?
So I started working at Home Depot, and then I met my now husband.
Shout out to Home Depot.
Shout out to Home Depot.
Husband,
Get
Jordan.
them screws loose.
Yeah. Did Jordan come in Home Depot? Is that where he met you?
So, yes.
Yeah, come on with this
Yeah,
one.
so
Yeah.
my husband, I had met my now husband, which is this crazy story. I met him. When I came back from the army, my dad's like, you're a loser, you're this or that. I'm like, Dad, just let me stay for a little bit till I find somewhere to live. Like, don't worry about it. What am I, like 19 at this point? Yeah, I'm 19. I left home at 17. I only stayed for like a couple weeks. Jordan's like, and I was with some other guy, actually, too, when I was during the army. It was another guy who was older. I'm always dating these older men. Okay. And something always happens with them. And he was like, I told you so. I told you stuff like that was going to happen to you at the army. You know, he's like, I told you so. What do you want me to say? I'm like, so then I ended up, me and this guy broke up. I met Jordan. We started hanging out. Shout out to Jordan. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he did treat me right and everything was going well. But I was so traumatized, I think, from a lot of stuff in my life.
Yeah.
That I started getting into fights with him.
Oh, yeah.
I started, you know, things were transpiring that shouldn't have transpired. Drugs, alcohol, you know, being honest, seeing like my ex-boyfriend. I have to be honest, because if I'm not honest with myself, how can anybody get anything out of this?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Seeing
my
ex-boyfriend here and there occasionally, which I shouldn't have. Me and him ended up, and he did things too that were wrong to me, that it was just like a day, and then, you know, he has trauma too. Like, he's been through shit too with his dad. His dad abused him. His family is not all there either, but they're great. You know what I mean? And they love him and support him, which is something I didn't get from my dad, at least. You know, that's what I had to say. And his father died as well from overdosing, so we had a trauma bond. Right. And he understood. So, but we ended up breaking up like after 2 years, and I thought, I'm never gonna talk to him again. Whatever. Then I dated this other guy I met at FedEx. And he ruined almost ruined my whole life, because I was getting back into selling and doing things and making tons of money. Mm-hmm. And with another person that I rekindled from my high school era, even though they were older, not even from that high school. They were older, and I rekindled something with them to sell, and I was making tons of money, and I didn't even know what to do with it. And then I was still going to FedEx, and I was still getting high. And this is the time where I started shooting dope. So I was 21. I was 21, and I started shooting dope because I'm like, it's cheaper. Even though I have all this money, I don't care. I kind of like the effect it gives me. I like the fatty. I like this. I like that. It wasn't even. I'm 26. It still wasn't all real. You know, it's not real. Like, and I just liked how it was. I don't know. So I kept doing that. I kept doing coke. I liked speedballing. That was my thing. I liked to speedball a lot.
Yeah.
If I can shoot it, I would. So I started doing all these crazy things because this guy, he's 40 years old. I'm 20. I'm 21. He's telling me he's divorcing his wife with 2 kids, when it was a complete lie the whole time. We got an apartment together. I'm the one paying for the apartment when he was only giving me half of it for the first 6 months. And then for 3 years, I was taking care of this guy because he lost his job because they caught him doing drugs in the FedEx trailers. And I was like, what are you, stupid? You want to be young again with all these young kids? What the hell is this? I thought, it's just me and you, man. His friend, who was also young, ended up drugging me and raping me. Here we go again, right? And this is what I'm talking. I wanted to kill myself every day, man. Like, and he still talked to him. I told him, and he still talked to him. And I stayed with that guy for 3 years. For 3 years, he was a complete narcissist, liar, compulsive liar. He drugged his own kids to put them asleep with this guy, Richie.
What do you mean? Drugs with what?
Listen, they would crush pills up, put it in the water, give his kids to go to sleep. I came and walked in on him doing it. I was like, what the fuck is this? Sorry, excuse me. I said, what is this? Like, what is going on here? Why is it just you two and your kids, like, all out of it? They couldn't even know who I was. And they loved me. They used to tell me, I love you more than my own mother. Because the mother used to like yell at the autistic kid and make fun of him and never spend time with him, never say I love you, no hugs, no nothing. And I was like, I need to get away from this no matter how much I love the kids. I need to get away from this. But I thought that making money, we talked about this last time at Bible study, being in this ditch was all I knew. And I couldn't climb out. I didn't want to climb out. I didn't want to see it. But once I got out, and the only way to get out was for me to be sober. Once I got sober, okay, because I kept overdosing, okay.
How many times?
At least like 4 times I've overdosed completely, or maybe 5 in my whole life. I'm trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, they came and everything when I was in my apartment.
Was this when
This is during that time.
Was this when fentanyl came out, or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I was like 21 to I was trying to get. I mean, I've overdosed at my dad's house, like I said, and then I kept like the more I messed around with dope, the more I overdosed, especially speedballing and stuff. I'm messing up everything. Sorry. And then this is the thing is like I wanted to die. I even tried like jumping.
So you were doing as much as possible.
I was doing.
You didn't care.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy is never. I was so madly in love with this guy, because he made me believe that he really cared about me and he loved me and all these things, and that he was just messed up in the head. He's just an addict as well. That's what. But he's a narcissist for real. For real.
He's not able to see anything on his part.
No, he doesn't want to hear it. He just wants to keep doing what he's doing. He just recently texted me too. All my exes, for some reason, they always find my number, I guess, and then text me, want to see me, and I'm like, no, thank you. And I don't even respond. Some of them I respond. Him, I will. Block. I will not. He just did that recently.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Block on all forums.
Yeah. So anyways, I remember I did die, and then they paddled me and then Narcaned me 8 times, and they brought me back to life. He waited so long because he was scared of getting in trouble. He did everything.
Who waited so long?
How long were you there?
This ex. No, my ex.
Oh.
He knows I overdosed, and then he drowned me in the bathtub. I still didn't wake up. I was dead. Like, I was dead. I was dead. This is what I was told. And when they brought me back, I didn't know my name. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was. All that I said was, "Where's Nick? Where is he? Where's this?" Right? And that's all that I said. That's all that I knew. I thought I was at a party when I came to a little bit.
So you were asking for Nick, and what else?
And that's it. I was like, and then I said, and I had never been so cold in my life.
Oh, wow.
I shivered for the next 4 hours. Shivering for 4 hours
because
straight.
your blood stopped pumping.
Yeah. Just like, I've never been so cold in my life. And I said, the first thing I said was, "Where's my dope?" When I came to, I was like, "Where's my dope? Where's my dope?"
Right.
Yeah.
He ended up smashing my phone because he didn't want to get in trouble, because they would have figured out. He probably lied to me. He said, "Oh, they tried going in your phone," and I ended up smashing it and broke it. That was not the first time he smashed my phone, because he has anger issues. So he just thought you were dead, and he just like, "Oh, let me smash the phone to try to like eliminate." Yeah, eliminate any, finding out it's me, and all this other stuff, and his friends. He cared more about his friends than me. So then,
Is that when you decided like things had to change?
No.
No,
that was not it.
No, it's not it.
It was gonna keep going. When he ended up putting me through a hole in the wall, that's when I started realizing things. He was very abusive, spit in my face, punched me, choked me. Then his wife, he would run back to his wife to sleep there, and she would tell me, "I want nothing to do with him. I just want him to sleep on the couch all day and take care of our kids. He's my lawn boy." This is the stuff she would say. She's like, I don't even want to have, sex with him. I just want him here so I can do what I have to do. She, whatever. So this is what I went through for 3 years: abuse, drugs, all this stuff every single day. It was an everyday thing, cheating, all this crap. And then I finally said, one of the last times I overdosed, I said, I met this guy in a meeting. Okay. And then I thought he was a great guy. I thought he's 5 years clean. He's telling me to get away from this other guy. This is great. But behind my back, after we started dating, I realized he was talking with my friend. I was like, oh, you're all high and mighty, huh? But you're going around judging people at meetings. You're going calling them losers, this, and that. You're making bets if you can get this guy sober, this and that. And they get themselves sober, number one. And, like, people would joke around with this one guy who's all high and mighty, but I have no resentment towards him. I'm not angry at him anymore. It is what it is because I moved on from everything in life. Like I said, moved on. I'm not angry. There's nothing to be angry in life about anymore. Nothing. There's nothing to yell about, scream about, be angry. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
So when was the breaking point in that transition?
That was that. I met this guy, and I think God used him because God was like, yo, you're the only one that can get her away from this guy. I swear on everything. I also met, like, my best friend through rehab as well. And we are still friends today. That's like, what, 5 years ago. I was going to rehab for a long time and trying to fix my life. Yeah, and in the process of going to rehab, too, I met another person that helped me get my benefits from the Army. That's right. And I'm telling you, that's God all the way.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be there at and it was in PA. I had the right people at the right time. Specific. He was like, "Oh, don't worry. I was in the Army. I'm gonna get you your benefits because they owe you, Alexis. They owe you. They owe you, and we're gonna do it the right way. And you go through investigation and all these doctors and all these things. And I got them. Thank God. Because if I didn't, then I don't know. Like I wouldn't. Like just seeing how things were going when I started trying to get clean. And change my life. I was like, man, I don't want this anymore. I don't even care about the money. I don't care about the money. I don't care about the men.
You didn't want to sell drugs anymore. You wanted to get out.
I wanted to. You weren't
happy.
I was not happy. I was in a hopeless state of mind and body, just like the AA book says, because I know that thing front to back, and I sponsored and I did it all. But still, what I say till today, guys, I say, doesn't matter who does me wrong. Guess what? It's all their perception. It's all perception. It doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter how they feel, this, and that. You know what? They move on. I move on. As long as I have God in my life. If I lose my husband today, if I lose everything, I have God in my life. And it's all that matters. Yeah. He's the love of my life. Yeah. He's the love of my life, no one else. These men are just a part of my life. And I'm going to allow them to be part of it or not. Or my family, or this and that. I also rekindled my relationship with my aunts, my whole family, my cousins, everything. When I was starting to get sober, because I was like, man, I need them. Yeah, I need them. It was the best decision of my life, and to let go and say, you know what? I'm not gonna fight with them. I'm not gonna fight with my dad. I'm gonna let it all go and say, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're my family. I love them. But if anybody does anything wrong to me, that's when I distance myself from them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's right. Boundaries, healthy boundaries. So it didn't work out with that other guy. Like I said, he started dating like my friend. I told him, you know what? You're never gonna find anyone like me. And I moved on, and then they ended up not working out anyways. Like I said, so
can you tell me? Because I really want to get to
that's the part. I
want to hear your encounter. Like how has God been revealing Himself to you?
So, the first step was me feeling like I didn't want that anymore. I feel like that, like just even breaking up after that guy, I was like, I really don't need anything anymore except God. Like I prayed to Him. And then it's funny because my husband reached back out to me. We didn't talk to 4 years or something. How are you doing? This and that, blah, blah, blah. He's helped me out a lot. He helped me. He's the one who stood by me and also helped me like with all this crap that was going through these men. He was there for me. He was trying to get me sober as well. He was just being like a friend through all these things. Right. And I was like, thank you, blah, blah, blah. Even when that other guy that was married stole like $50,000 from me, he helped me, gave me money. And I was like, yo, thanks, man. You're a good friend. You know what I mean? I was like, that's crazy. Yeah. So, we rekindle things. And then, I don't know. I just felt happy and I was sober. I was sober for like a year and a half. And then we ended up getting married. We eloped. Nice. And then I was just like, man, I have my family back in my life. My dad also, another thing was when I overdosed, my dad came to see me in the hospital and he was like, Alexis, like we cried. He's like, I'm sorry about all the things I did. this, and that. I went to therapy. Everything's fine now, and blah, blah, zay, blah. And I accepted him back in my life. I did this 12 steps. I made amends. It doesn't matter if he says sorry to me. It matters if I clean my side of the street and say sorry to him. And that was a big thing in my life because I was always searching for my father's love. And I really, now me and him are like best friends. We're like this. We talk on the phone for hours. He's a truck driver. I DoorDash. He just like talks to me all the time, man. And it's great. And it's great. Even if we get in our spats and stuff. No, he is not going to see this. I don't think he should. So, yeah, but anyways, moving on. Me and my husband, we ended up moving to Florida. And like I said, I went to meetings. I was a sponsor. I did all this stuff. And then I said, you know what? This isn't for me anymore. Tyler, what's his name? Steven Tyler from Aerosmith said something along the lines of like, you don't have to do it forever. Like, you just have to be happy, be you. You can do what you want. And also, like, I also felt like my dad told me, I met my dad's friend. He was a heroin addict for 20 years straight. 20 years straight. And one day he just said, I don't want to do this anymore. My dad had to separate himself from him. And he separated himself when they were like in high school or after high school. Because my dad knows with the depression my dad was going through, he would have done it too. He's smarter than that, and he stepped away from that. And it killed him. So his friend told me, I did heroin 20 years straight, and one day I just woke up and said, I need God, and this is enough. He said he prayed to God and said, God, please give me the strength to get clean, to at least be happy and get clean and do something with my life, right? He told me he now has a family. He's like the head manager at Rutgers campus, like head janitor, whatever they call maintenance guy, and he has a house, and he's happy, and he has money, and it says all because he found God, and he didn't even go to meetings. He didn't go to meetings. He didn't do the steps or anything. He told me he just found God one day and just was like, and worked on having a relationship with God, which is crazy. Yeah. I know that's different. Yeah. That's
he
different
just
from
cried out to
everybody's
God.
on.
Yeah, there's no
everybody's
judgment.
on the journey, man.
Right. And now he tells me after he got clean, he was clean for maybe 3 years. Then he said, you know what? I'm going to try having a drink. I'm going to try smoking a little bit of weed. And he's been clean from hard drugs and just smokes weed once in a blue moon, just drinks once in a while. And that's his journey, and that's okay.
Sure.
And that's okay. And then I also practiced harm reduction too and said, let's see if I can do it. I know I've been using since I was 13, and I don't like to lie, like I said. Everybody's journey is different. No judgment. There should be no judgment. And I hated it when people used to tell me, oh, if you're a real addict, Alexis, you're going to fail. They wanted me to fail so bad. They would sit there at these meetings and they would say, this is the only way. And you're not close with God if you practice harm reduction. These are the things these people would tell me at certain meetings. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. But if I'm happy and I'm not in a hopeless state of mind and body anymore, then like, why not? If I can do it, if I can have a drink once in a while, if I can do this once in a while, not going too deep into it, but like, why not? I don't do dope anymore.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Can you tell us about the dream?
Yo, the dream
man.
was crazy. Yeah.
We're gonna do the dream, and then we're going to kind of just open up, just if you have anything to say, if anybody has been through the same things that you have been through or are still in them, and then we don't want to be too long-winded, and then we'll close it out.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I get deep into it. I had a big life already.
Yeah, no, you do.
Yeah. So the dream. This is the dream.
How long ago?
3 months ago.
Okay.
3 months ago.
Yeah. So I moved to Florida from Newark, New Jersey. I've been everywhere in New Jersey, and then I moved to Florida. There, I was having some issues with my husband. Okay. And I was praying to God and said, please just give me something to tell me what to do. Because I was starting to get, when my bipolar was getting deep in depression again. And listen, everybody has problems in life. And still, like I say, as long as I have God, I'll get through them. So I had this dream one night, and it wasn't a dream. It was reality. I felt like I wasn't in my body anymore. It didn't feel like a dream. I was somewhere else. this angel, I'm just like walking down the street, and this angel says, take my hand. I'm just like a normal looking person, but I knew it was an angel. And he's like, come with me. I need to take you to meet the love of your life. And I said, I hope it's my husband.
Yeah.
You know, and I prayed that night asking to show me something. And here it is. And we float all the way up above the earth, and I'm looking down. I'm like, whoa. Like, whoa, man, like, we're in the clouds, for real. You know, and he's like, listen, he's like, and then he showed me all the other angels that were there. And 2 of them were dogs. And
Did they look normal too?
They look normal.
Nope.
Just normal, complete.
Anybody had no wings?
Complete. I think maybe, I don't know, honestly, just maybe a couple of
Any
them.
swords?
Maybe. No.
Did they have abs? Were they shredded?
No, dude, just normal looking people and 2 dogs.
All right.
2 dogs and 2 dogs.
Dogs are angels too?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
They said they
dogs
can
do go to
only
heaven.
come. They said they can only. When I asked them, like, what are you?
Yeah.
Are you guys angels? Because I can feel it. They're like, man, you're smart. Like, you already know where you are. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, we have to come in forms to you that your mind can understand. So this is the form we come in. And I'm like, even the dogs? Like, they're like, yeah, like they're angels too. And then the dogs start talking. I'm like, what the hell? Like, sorry, like, what's going on? Yeah, so then the angel says, let me take you somewhere quick. Everything you think about life and you perceive things, like, you're right about a lot of that stuff. They're like, you don't want to live anymore because you see a lot of evil in the world and it caused you pain. They took me down. One of them took me down to earth and said, see, like, you know how God works through people like you? Well, they were talking about Lucifer, and I said, is Lucifer real? And he's like, huh. They laughed, and they said, we call him Lucy. I was like, okay. And they took me down to earth and said, see all this stuff going on? I started seeing a lot of evil stuff I've seen in my life. I said, please take me back up there. I don't want to see it. He's like, Lucifer works through them too. And they don't want to listen to God because sometimes God's voice is a lot more quieter when they want to hear something else. So then they took me back up and I said, is Jesus real? And they're like, close your eyes. And I closed my eyes. And they said, open them. If you really believe in him, you believe in him, open them. And I opened them, and I saw him there with a white robe, with a red sash, and his hands out, palm, kind of like what you see, you know what I mean? And I saw him looking down. I couldn't see his face really, just a sign, and he's like floating above the earth. And they said, he's answering all the prayers. He's saving people's lives. Like, he's the one who, like, if people get in car accidents, like, he's there. Like, he's there when they land. And sometimes he says he can't answer all of them at the same time. Like, it's hard. You know, it's a hard job, but that's his job. And I was like, whoa. I was like, this is like when I saw Jesus, I felt so much joy. I've never felt joy like that in my life.
Come on.
In my life, when I saw him, I felt so much joy in my life. I just knew. And then one of the woman angels says, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? And I said, I want to be skinny. Yeah. I want to be beautiful, because I had some eating disorders in my life and things I've been through. And I'm like, I want to be smart. I want to be happy. And that's why I said, I want to be happy. And then she took out a mirror. Anything you want to be, she said, look in the mirror. And it was a mirror from my house. It just appeared like that. And she said, you are all of those things. She's like, you don't even know it. It's okay. It's okay. We're here to tell you. You are all of those things. You're perfect. I was like, and then the other angel says, why does she even want to kill herself? You know, she's not born in Syria. That's something I used to say. Like, it's like they talk through me. I swear to God, it's like they talk through me, because that's something I would say. I wasn't born in Syria. I got to keep going. I got to keep moving. There's something to complain about here. It doesn't matter if I'm homeless. It doesn't matter this. Da-da-da-da. I'll get through it. And he said that, and they're like, how can you tell her how she feels? Only God is the one who tells her how she feels and only knows how she feels. And he was like, all right, whatever. And they all got mad at him. They're like, yeah, you're about to meet him. And I was like, what? Meet who? And then behind me felt just so bright. The white light was so bright that I had to turn around, and I couldn't see him. I turned around, and the light was just like beaming down on top of me, and he's talking to me. And I thought this was like the craziest moment of my life. But as soon as I saw that light, I felt happiness.
Yeah.
And love and joy, everything that I've never felt before in my life. I swear on everything on my mother's grave.
Yeah.
This is the moment where I was like, oh my God, this is the love of my life. I came to meet the love of my life.
Yeah.
This was it. This is what they wanted me to see. This is the love of my life. And it finally clicked in my brain. I was like, oh shit, this is why I'm here. And God says, Alexis, you have to keep living because you have a purpose right now on earth. You speak the word of God in so many ways and you don't even know it. You speak the word of God and that's what you had to keep doing. And I said, what are you talking about? He starts naming incidences of either me giving food to the homeless or money or people in general, my friends, this and that. He's like, those people were thinking about killing themselves that day. These people, you gave them another day, or you did this, you did that, and now they have a family or whatever. And I don't, like, barely people I knew. And he said that I just talked to them and made their day, and that's all that it took for them to keep going. And I was like, how the heck does he know? Like, it really was God. And I knew it, though. I was just like thinking so much when he was saying all this. I was like, oh my God, this is real. This is real. This is real. Like, this is not a dream. I just kept, he's like, you have to keep living because you help so many people. And I was like, that's so crazy. And I said, does dying mean anything? And he says, of course it does, but it's not your time yet. Like, the reason I brought you here is because I want you to live. I want you to be happy. I want you to enjoy your life, whatever that means, you know, and whatever that means, but you have to keep speaking the word of God. I'm like, even if I want to divorce my husband, or even if I have to do it, or even if I want to, you know, do harm reduction, I kept asking him things, and he's like, yes, but not if it, you know, kills you. Like, you have to live. Like I said, like, have, you know, enjoy your life, be happy, but be safe. And that's what he said. And I said, okay. And then I asked about my mother, and he's like, yeah, she's here too. You know, even though you don't see her a lot, she's ashamed of like not showing herself because of what happened to her. It's like, I understand. He's like, she will when it's time and when it's coming and when it's ready. And I just had a dream about her the other night. I told you about it, remember? I did. I've never seen my mother in 10 years. It's the first time, you know? So it's important to me that I am getting close with God, and I realize it. And then I said, because I told God, I was like, I want to die. I feel like I can't live anymore, and I don't want to do this. And he's like, but I'm telling you, you have to. Just keep going, and you will be happy. And he says, you are happy. Keep going. He's like, keep going. He just told me to keep going because you have a purpose. And then I said, okay. And my dream ended like that.
Wow.
So it's like, it's real. It's real. And it's like, it's just something that I can't explain. It's supernatural. Just, I didn't even think, you know, when I told you guys, I didn't even think anything of it. Like, oh, this is just, it is what it is. You know? No,
but when you share like different experiences that, you know, you might have had that are like, wow, that was pretty intense. That was crazy. There's still doubt. There's still things that might come in. Yeah. So, but when you share it and you're like, and you get that confirmation of like, you know, God is,
yeah, and I know he's real.
Speaking to you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you're like, yeah,
like,
he is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he is. Yeah.
You know?
Like, he spoke to me, and I was like, for sure he's real. And even my dad, same. He says he met an angel in real life that came across the street and says, whatever happens to your wife tomorrow, you got to keep going, Eddie, and you got to keep pushing forward. Because he started telling this story to my dad, and my dad's like, listen, I'm a Roman Catholic. I'm not into Jehovah Witness. I'm not in Jehovah Witness. He's like, no, I just have to tell you something. And all this guy said was, he said my mother's story from front to back, from beginning to the end. He's like, whoa, that's my wife's story. He stopped cleaning the car, and he's like, and he's listening intently now and seriously. And then he's like, this guy was an angel. He says, and then he says, Eddie, whatever happens tomorrow, take care of those kids, be strong, and keep going. He's like, keep going. Whatever happens to your wife tomorrow. And that's all he kept saying to my dad after he told basically my mom's story, because he says he thinks that it was my mother's story and it was an angel, because they have to come in these forms of not trying to scare you away. Like, oh, this is your wife's story. They can't say this is your wife's story and this and all this stuff that they've been through and say if something's going to happen to her. And she died the next day. She died the next day. Whatever happens to your wife tomorrow. You know, and my dad says, that was an angel for sure. And he says, he was like, whoa, what does that mean? You know, but he still went to work the next day, still had to do what he had to do, and she died. And it's like, it's just like crazy how, and he says, Eddie, like, you have a gift, and you just have to keep going. And I was like, whoa, like, don't. And he was an addict too. That's what he said. It was my mother's story, from beginning to end. So he knows there's an angel. He knows God is real. He says he just like, how would that even possibly happen? Yeah, that's it. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
No.
So think. Okay, so many people have experienced a lot of what you've been through, or at least some of it, or some sort of hardship or some sort of trauma. Like, if you would have just a couple words, whatever you have on your heart to like share with them, if they're listening, if they're, relating to you, identifying, and what would you have to say to them?
It's all part of the human experience, and you just have to keep pushing forward no matter what, because God has a plan. It is divine for each and every one of us. There's nobody better. There's nobody smarter, stronger, more beautiful than you. Everybody is beautiful inside and out in their own way. And if you're struggling finding God, He's there. He's there. He gave you the tools. He's just waiting for you to use them. And I always used to say, I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I am not. And that is just like so true. That's from Andre Gide, actually. He was a French writer, I believe. And then Kurt Cobain took it. But it's very true. It's just like, you have to be who God made you to be. Like, you know what I mean? And if you're struggling out there, just listen to me saying, please, I've been there. I've been, when I tell you, I've been through it, man. Like, I've been through hell and back already, and I'm just waiting for heaven. I am waiting for heaven, but I want to help people in the process till that day comes, whenever that day comes. But God is here for you. He is listening. No good deed goes unnoticed. We all have good in us. And if you feel like you've been bad your whole life or whatever, you can change today. You can change today. You can keep going, because you know what? I felt like I was a bad person too with the things I've done. And you know what? And today I can tell myself that I have God in my heart and my soul and in my mind and my body, everything. Yes. He's my spirit and Jesus and everything and all that. And He saved my life. He saved my life. Not those meetings, not those, are they good? Yeah, that's great. Not those meetings, not the people. God saved me.
He's the source.
He is the source. He is the source that brings people together. He is the source that makes these meetings and these doctors and these people that help you and makes changes in your life that are good for you, even if you can't see that it's good for you. Even if you think this is messed up, He did all this to me to make me stronger, to make me speak the word of God, to continue to push forward. And He's doing the same thing for you. On everything, I swear, He's doing the same thing for you. I promise you are going through this because this is part of your life. This is part of your journey. So you can continue to help other people, no matter how bad you got it. It's, we all got it. We all got it. And we still go through problems. But guess what? You know what my problems today are? Car problems. Which color blinds am I picking? I never thought I'd get married from being homeless. I never thought I'd stop selling drugs to getting married. I never thought that no matter what happens in my life with my family, my friends, my husband, that if I said I lose all of them, I'd be happy. I never thought I'd think like that before and not want to kill myself anymore. And it's all God. It's all God. Do we all have our bad days? Yes. Sometimes I feel like, man, dude, like I get that feeling of like, do I want to die or not? And that's my bipolar, and I know that. And that's just a feeling that you're gonna have ups and downs, but as long as you have God, you're gonna get through it. I promise you on everything.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So good. Paul, would you have anything else to add to maybe some of the listeners that?
I just know that the comment box is not working. I got a text. Oh, it is working now. Okay, and I just got the thumbs up that it is working. I have not been able to see it, so
Sorry about the light.
I was like kind of like.
There's not much comments. They're just probably listening.
I think they were just saying about how nice my hat looked. I heard a couple of those comments. I wasn't sure, but yeah. No, I'm kind of blown away. I'm just kind of like really like I love the things that you say. Um, I love your message. You know, it never gives up. Right? It never stops. And you're a testimony alone. And what God's doing, like the vision, it wasn't even like a dream. It was a vision, like a real live encounter. It just blows me away. And I'm glad. I'm glad that I got to meet you. I'm glad that you got to share your story. And I know the other dream that you had. I know the other dream with your mom, and your mom was talking to you, and I tried to interpret it a little bit. And you know, she told you basically to come onto the show. She told you to stick close to me and Anthony.
Yeah,
and I think because your nervousness was really trying to eat at you. There were things that were trying to yell at you or trying to, you know, speak to you about not coming on and not giving your testimony and telling your story. Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that you fought through that. Like you didn't give in to those things.
No.
Come on, and in the middle of it, where was the fear? Where was the nervousness?
Yeah.
Right? You're just going. You're just being. You're being yourself. You're being free. You're being 100%. Yeah. We see in part, right? We're not perfect. That's not the prerequisite.
No.
The point is give what you have. You know what I'm saying? Freely you receive, freely you give away. You know, you get what you have and you keep what you know what I'm saying?
I do like apologize if anybody on here like's ever been offended or like I said anything or I like that's just how I am though. I'm respectful of everybody of all times. Like I said, I never judge anybody.
Yeah.
I never judge anybody. Like when somebody does something to me or whatever, I just say, you know what? Maybe they didn't realize what they were doing to me. Maybe they're just in this type of mood or that. I am like now I realize like I'm the most like non-judgmental I've ever been in my life and just like keep going and it doesn't matter. You just
take
keep
it personally.
Going. Yeah, I don't take nothing personally.
That's the grace of God, man. That's the grace of God on your heart, you know. But we don't apologize here. We're not apologizing for being ourselves. No, we're giving full permission, you know, to love and to give what we have. And we're encouraging everybody else to do the same. And if anybody, you know, I want to say, yeah, man, if anybody been through any of these things or something else traumatic, like, you know, and you're listening and you're wondering like, wow, some people will feel like, well, that's not me and I'm still here. That's just maybe God is choosing favorites or something, or maybe he's just, you know, God is not partial. He's no respecters of persons. He's not a respecter of persons, rather, and you know, he's way closer than you could even imagine. And there's no prerequisite to come to him. You don't have to muster up a bunch of faith to try to come to him. It's you come to him broken. You come to him hungry. You come to him exactly the way you are, and all you gotta do is turn your heart to him. All you have to do is open your mouth and say, like, for me, I just said, Jesus, you know, if you're real, show me who you are. Yeah. And even those who even know Jesus, like, I need to know who you are every day. I mean, still saying the same thing 16 years later, right? You know what I mean? Like, and he continues to reveal more and more because we're still hungry. We're still humble. We're still ready and eager for him to reveal himself. He's endless. He's infinite. There's no beginning and no end to God. So that we'll ever be increasingly becoming aware of who he is, his nature, his character. And yes, sometimes he does use dreams. Sometimes he does use visions. Sometimes he does use other people in life that you hear something, that you feel something, that you sense something. You're like, yo, that's moving me. That's stirring me. I see God on your life. You know what I mean? And you glean from those people. You know what I mean? And definitely be, you know, I pray that God enables you to find your tribe. You know what I'm saying? We definitely need people in our life, whoever that may be, you know, and, but for the people that are listening, man, just ask him. Just ask him. He comes by invitation. He's not going to force himself in your life, but he's probably already speaking to you anyways. The fact that you're even watching this right now is probably, you know what I mean? Definitely.
To you.
Yes. Yes. Yes, and they're not too dirty. You're not too far. You're not too, there's nothing that you could have done or that was ever done to you that would make you too dirty for him. Like he sees you for who you actually are, not for what the world or the pain or the trauma has shaped and molded you into thinking that you are. And then behaviors come out of that place of what you think you are, man. And then the enemy, it's just the enemy's work. I mean, he tries to, he speaks to us in a thought and he tries to reinforce it by around the people, in our lives. speaking it over us until we become that distorted form. But God says you're righteous, man. God says you're holy.
It's so funny because the enemy does what God does. God sends
He's an imitator.
Yeah, so God sends people in your life to aid you in your walk, to have a word. Like, he impresses something on somebody's heart, like just like something was impressed on your heart for somebody, you gave it away. So God does that, but the enemy also does that. That's why, like, some of your story, you were saying that you heard like evil things come from somebody's mouth, and that was an echo in your mind. The enemy was echoing that. Somebody was used to hearing that distorted voice, and they spoke it out to you. And that's what we want to get away from that, man. We want to be able to distinguish what our Father's voice sounds like, you know what I mean, based off of that vision that you had, that pure light, the feeling that you gained from that, the feeling that you have when you speak to people that have that experience with that light source, right? But then also distinguish what it looks like from the other side, so we can hear it in our minds. Because a lot of times we hear these thoughts, they kind of just echo. They're reciprocal. They go around and around. And I know in my life too, I've heard these things, sometimes when my life gets like even last night, I was frustrated. I'm frustrated with kind of like where I'm at, my finances, aren't the best right now. And I'm like, struggling in my mind. And I keep hearing the enemy try to say like, oh, maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you're not going in the right direction. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe that wasn't a good choice. And like, I'm like, sometimes, and I know, even though I know it's not a good thought, even I know it's an intrusive enemy kind of thought, sometimes I got to like fight it off. Sometimes it gets to be a little heavy. And I was telling my girlfriend, and I was, sometimes I keep those things locked up. I'm trying to battle it myself. And it isn't until I express it with my mouth, with my words, my expression comes out. And then I go, God, I need you to be something that you haven't been yet. You know what I mean? There's something that you want to be right now in this time in my life that I haven't connected with you. I haven't partnered with you yet to be. Yeah. So I need to see it first, then I get to partner with it, then I get to activate it by walking it out. Yeah. So I'm in that process too. That process that Aunt said that you cry out all the time. It's the same cry out. Excuse me. It's the same cry. Like, I need you. I need you, Father. I need you in a different way, but I still need you. Yeah. It hasn't changed. My need for you, my desire for you, my longing. It's actually growing now. Yeah. Because you took care of me like when I was little, I was immature. And now that I'm maturing, I still need you.
Yeah, it's so good.
Like, one more thing I want to say is like you were talking about, but it's like I said about keep going and stuff. Even in relationships, like me and my husband, we've been doing so much better now. Yeah. And it's like like God's love, like he will love you no matter what, what you do, no matter how bad you've been, no matter this. So I'm going with that approach and learning from God, learning from Jesus of keep loving him, even if he's not so much believing in God. He's getting there little by little. I see him changing. He's like, I believe in a higher power. And he used to be agnostic. Okay. Yeah. He used to be an atheist, then agnostic, then he used to be used to be in a higher power. Now he's like, now I believe in God. Come on. And I just keep loving him and loving him and loving him no matter what he does, no matter what fights we get in through and all this. And we're like now, like we're pretty solid, I would say, and it takes time. And we've been married 3 years, and it's okay. You just keep loving and giving, and it's not about taking, it's about giving and giving, because I want him to be happy, even if that's not with me. Let's say I want him to move on and live a happy life, and that's all it's about, is being happy in this life and spreading the message. And it's like you just got to keep giving that God's love, that Jesus love. Like, you can cry on my shoulder. It's okay. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you just keep being there for them. Don't force religion. Don't force, all this stuff. But like, just be like, I got you. I'll take it. You're good. I love you. No matter what you do, no matter who you are, it doesn't make anybody less if they don't believe in God. Yep. If they don't believe in God, it doesn't make them any less. That doesn't mean they're not going to heaven. There should be no judgment, no hypocrites. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be their friend or anything. Like, different strokes for different folks. Yes. You know what I mean? Different strokes for different folks with everything in life. Like, you should be happy if somebody is successful, even if you can't do it that way. Yes. If you can't do it that way, like I was talking about being sober, like if you know you're the type of person that has to be sober the rest of your life, then you know. But if but you should be happy if somebody was a heroin addict for 10 years and now they can just smoke weed once in a while. Be happy for them.
Yes.
Don't say they're gonna fail. What is wrong with you? Why would you want people to fail because you can't do it and you're jealous? Is that what it is? Don't be jealous Judas over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You keep going and you be happy for people and you keep doing you. That's all it's about, is doing you and being close to God. Because God is within you already. If you can't find him, he's there. He's there. Just keep doing what you're doing for you. Yep. Just be your best you that you can be. You're going to have problems the rest of your life, and that's okay. You're going to struggle. Sometimes you struggle the rest of your life, and that's okay, though. Because guess what? This is God's plan, and it's made for you, and you have to accept it no matter what. And you will get through it. I promise you will be happy.
So good.
Yeah. It's good.
Love believes the best of every person. Love keeps no record of wrongs. Love doesn't prefer their own way. Like, it's so good, man. It's like, you probably you probably didn't even read that. You probably haven't even read the things that you're saying, but because you're hearing it inside, he's revealing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she's so new in the Lord.
She's not read that.
But she's speaking things that are of the character and the nature of God. That's why we're like, yes, that's good. And as the more that you speak it, the more, and then you read it, and then you get it confirmed through 2 or 3 witnesses, then it's like, it's even more. It builds even more. But yeah, we don't want to be long-winded. How long have we been going? What's
that time look like?
Yeah, there's so much. I mean, I can go for hours, man. The goodness of God is so real, so alive, and so close.
Also, I would say one more thing. Music got me through a lot of my life.
Yeah.
Dude, like, especially this one song, DMX, Give Me a Sign. Lord, it's called Lord, Give Me a Sign. If you haven't heard of that one song, it is a rap song. I'm forewarning you. But I don't think there's a lot of cursing in it at all. It's very, like, spiritual. It's all about God. So I would listen to DMX, Lord, Give Me a Sign. That is something I listen to on a regular basis. God, show me the way to live. He's like, show me what to do. Tell me what to do. Show me how to teach the blind, how to reach the mind. All these things he's talking about. I'm trying to remember, but I do listen to that song on a regular basis. And you got to just keep going and give yourself to the Lord. Let him take that weight off of you. Let him carry you. Don't keep carrying all that shit.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just let him help you.
Yeah.
Allow him.
So good. Yeah, thank you for coming out. Thank you for being brave.
Thank you. Yeah, it was like scary.
Yeah, you were scared
I'm
in the
still a
beginning.
little nervous though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just speaking when I gotta speak.
You're scared now. You're like, and one more thing. I just want to tell right now.
Like, she just
Give a
jumped-
shout out to DMX.
Yeah.
In heaven, I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Get at me. Whoa. Like, oh man, all right, take over. She's like, hold on, I'll do
She's
this.
taking my mic. She's like, yeah, and one more thing. I just want to say.
Yeah. And
Dude, I
one
can
more
go on
thing.
for hours.
Yes.
And hours,
No,
but I
you're
will
fine.
not. Because you know what? I want to get the point across and be done. And
It's
All right,
so
be shy
good.
and nervous again.
No, you did it great. You did it great, man. Thank you. Yeah, we thank everybody that's
so
listening, everybody that will listen, that will like, that will share, that will what's the other thing? Subscribe.
Subscribe.
More subscribers.
Like, share, subscribe.
And,
like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe.
Next week's gonna be Paulie. He's
Bang,
gonna share
bang,
his
son.
story. You know?
Testimony.
How he used to be a male stripper, but I don't want to give it away. But no, I'm just Yo, we love you guys. Even if you don't love us.
Yeah. Love you.
love you.
Peace.